What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wave of the World podcast. My podcast serves as entertainment as well as worldly insight into the lives of everyday people, creating their own narratives. We discuss various topics ranging from current news to personal one-on-one interviews with some friends that I find very interesting. Everybody has a story, and I'm ready to hear yours. Thank y'all for joining me in another week and another episode. I'm happy you're here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for all of the support that I've been getting, whether it be on podcast platforms, whether it be on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever the case may be. I appreciate y'all and I thank y'all. I just wanted to take a moment to put out there. It's already up on my YouTube page. I'm planning on doing another one, but I have auditioned for The Circle, the social experiment television reality show that is on Netflix. It's already at 100 views. If you wouldn't mind, going over there, checking out the video. I'm probably going to do another one, but y'all get to see me in my element. And, well, y'all already get to see me. Unless you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever y'all do, I appreciate you. Without further ado, all of that rhymed. Let's get into today's topics. Now, a big one that y'all know I'm going to talk about, that everybody is talking about, is crypto. Yes, we are getting into it today. So, if you don't know, if you live under a rock, if you're not into stock, I'm just going to be Dr. Seuss for the evening. I know you didn't plan on this, but stocks, specifically crypto. So, the two that everybody are talking about right now are Ethereum and Dogecoin or Dogcoin, whatever you prefer. But I'd like to take a minute to explain that I am not an advisor. I do not give financial advice. Please don't sue me. For the love of Jesus Christ, this is just my opinion. So crypto, it is cryptocurrency. I'm sorry for shortening it, but Ethereum, it is a decentralized open source blockchain with a smart contract functionality. Ether is the native cryptocurrency of the platform, and they also have a couple partnerships with Microsoft. They have their own computing platform and operating system, and one of the reasons why cryptocurrency is becoming so huge in this digital world that we live in is because it's decentralized, and it kind of levels the playing field in terms of different countries having different forms of payment. And the cool thing about it is it can be run without any downtime, fraud, control, or interference from a third party, which is specifically to Ethereum. Now, with Dogecoin, on the other hand, it was created for fun. It was created as a joke. And if you don't follow Papa Elon on Twitter, he's pretty funny. And it's similar to what happened with GameStop stock, what happened with AMC, what happened with Cost, what happened with BlackBerry. But it's gaining more traction because Dogecoin is what's called an oscillator coin. And I just found out that word today, so I'm going to look up the word for you. Oscillating means to move or swing back and forth at a regular speed. And the difference between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're kind of like I guess you would say, leaders. They would be like the Berkshire Hathaways or Warren Buffett's, if you will, of cryptocurrency. Like they're the first. Well, Bitcoin was obviously the first. Ethereum came out 6 years after Bitcoin, but it basically took all of the knowledge that it had of the crypto world and did everything, or is doing everything, that Bitcoin can't do. And That's why the stock is going so high. I'd show y'all my numbers, but I want y'all to go do your research for yourself. I don't want you hopping into something just because I told you to. But do your research, do your due diligence. If you'd be interested to chop it up with me, you can hop into my DMs at Jacob Bodega or at Wave of the World Podcast, and I'd be happy to chop it up with you. Once again, I'm not giving you any advice, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I can do that, but that's not advice. I promise you. But if you haven't joined the wave now, you might miss it. But Dogecoin to the moon. But other than that, let's go ahead and switch on to the next topic. So, I don't know if you know, but Bill and Melinda Gates reported for a divorce. Once again, shows you that no amount of money could buy happiness, regardless of who you're with. And Bill went ahead and sent $1.8 billion in stock to Melinda once the news was released. Sheesh. Like, boy. I don't remember what episode it was. Just go back and try to find it. But y'all remember when I reported that Jeff Bezos and his wife, I'm pretty sure her name is Melanie. I'm not 100% sure. Jeff Bezos and his wife got divorced, and they didn't have a prenup either. And he just went ahead and slid her to half. And then she went ahead and donated, like, it was some ridiculous amount to a bunch of HBCUs. It was like, you couldn't ask for a better story than that. Well, I mean, they could be together, but you could ask for a better situation than it could have gone. It could have gone very south. But Bill and Melinda, they will, have to split everything because they didn't have that prenuptial. And Bill Gates, he actually stepped down from the board of him and Bezos. They both stepped down from the boards of their companies. Obviously, they're both co-founders of the company. And old Billy is worth $130 billion with a B. Billy Gates, billion with a B. Just putting that out there. And you could be too if you invest in. I'm just a joke. Not doing it again. So let's switch on over to something more funny. So there was a man trapped inside of a portable toilet at Gettysburg National Military Park. He was rescued, or else I wouldn't be reporting on it. But being trapped inside of a portable toilet, first of all, sounds like hell. I am sorry to the man who didn't know how to switch from vacant to occupied, but sheesh. They found, so the reason that they knew that he was in the Port-A-Potty is because they found his car parked, but there was a tree that had gotten struck by lightning and it fell on his car, which doesn't really make any sense. If I've gotten into a car accident before, but I haven't gotten into a nature caused accident before. My main objective whenever, something happens to me or my vehicle is not to go drain the main vein. It's to, call somebody. Maybe he did, and maybe he was just trying to pass the time. But not only did a tree fall on top of his vehicle, a tree fell on the Port-A-Potty. And this man probably had the worst day that you could ever have as a human being. This happened on 4 p.m. on Friday, April 30th. And I feel like nature was trying to take him out because they came he's okay. or else, like I said, I wouldn't be reporting it. He doesn't have any injuries, but it could have been very serious. And I'm gonna upload some pictures over the visual for you. And you know what? Thank the Lord he's okay. But that's just a funny headline. And you know, um, something that was not so funny that I want to report on. This is local, so it may not get as much attention or, um, you know, I guess the same type of care if it was a national thing or a global thing. But I just want to take this moment to tell y'all to get your mental health together, regardless of what that looks like for you. I challenge you to do some mental exercises, do some breathing exercises, do some stretching exercises, whatever you have to do to get your day started and also get your mindset right so you can do what you were put on this planet to do. That's all I encourage you to do. And that's all I challenge you to do, because I feel, how would like I asked in the final four, how would your 15-year-old self look at you now? Because that's all you can compare yourself to. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to anybody that's in your circle. You should only be comparing yourself to the past version of yourself, because only you can control what you do. And at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself. There was a TikTok that I saw, which I'm starting to see now that I do the podcast a lot more and it's more frequent, and the things that I talk about start to, pop up on my TikTok page. There was a man that was, it was an Indian man, and he was talking about what makes a person angry. He was having an interview with an individual, and he used the analogy or metaphor, whichever word you prefer, of a flower being in a rainforest. And most rainforests are, covered with trees, and the flowers are at the bottom they're at the bottom, and they have like the least likely chance of getting any sunlight. But he was speaking on what the sun had to get through to shine a light on that flower. Also, what the water had to do to get to the roots to nurture the flower. And the two questions that he was being interviewed, and he asked the interviewer these questions. When was the last time you watered yourself? And do you know how much power that the sun gives you? And I truly believe that the sun, it doesn't give us superpowers. Calm down. But I truly believe that the sun empowers us. I bet if you did a survey out of 100 people living in a city, let's just take Seattle, for example, because it's always raining there. They rarely see sunlight. I can guarantee you those people are a lot less mentally healthy or mentally happy or just mentally positive about different situations that may or may not happen in their life than, say, I don't know, Sedona, Arizona, or Tucson, Arizona, or Houston, Texas. I do believe the sun brings out good in people, good and bad, obviously, but hopefully more good than bad. And I truly believe that you need to water yourself, and you need to allow that whatever that sunlight is for you, you need to allow that to shine on you to help you grow. And whether that sunlight be, learning about the stock market so you can invest properly and create generational wealth, or you starting a business so you're mom or your dad or your brother or your grandma doesn't have to work anymore, or whatever the insert whatever the sunlight is for you that powers you to get through the day or to make it to wherever you want to be in life. That's what I feel like we should be striving for. And I'm sorry that got really deep, but I had to go on a positive light in regards to this news story. So this was actually right up the street from me. There was a 22-year-old kid. His name was Salman Mohammed, and apparently on Tuesday, he took someone hostage in a house, and he ended up letting the hostage go, but he still had a gun, and he ended up injuring an officer. The officer's okay, and the officer, there was about, I think I saw yesterday about 40 plus cops. I also saw 2 helicopters, and they called the SWAT team. And they believe that Muhammad called 911 on himself, and he ended up committing suicide. And they interviewed his mom and his brother, and they don't really know why he did it, but like I said, just y'all take care of yourself. I don't care who's talking about you. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you're going through. I just want you to know that your life is worth it, and regardless of anybody else loves you, I love you. Regardless of who you are, regardless of your race, your sexual orientation, your gender, doesn't matter to me. I love you for who you are, and I want you to be a great human being and go out and do what you were put on this planet to do. That's all I ask. Now that we out the fake deep, let's get back into the show. So, I want to kind of switch off to a more positive side of, I guess a more positive side of death is the words that I want to look for. So everybody knows the story of Kobe and Gianna Bryant and their untimely death at the beginning of 2020, and this year it would have been Gianna's 15th birthday, which is, it's heartbreaking to even think about, but all of the love and all of the pictures and all of the memories that are being shared on social media, like keeping her spirit alive, it's kind of inspiring, knowing that she had such an impact on this earth for the very short time that she was here. And also, obviously, her father had a huge impact, and we may or may not be hearing her story if she wasn't Kobe's daughter. But I also want to take this time to pay homage, pay respects to the other 7 who also died in the helicopter accident. But yeah, a couple days ago on May 1st, it would have been her 15th birthday. And, it's just good to see a young kid's spirit being lived on, regardless of, who she is or what she did and everything. Yeah. What else we got today? All right. So, now we are going to jump into the last portion of the episode. It's not going to be a super long one. I normally save the longer ones for whenever I have guests, but this one's going to be a little bit shorter. Still going to give you all the quality content. So, time for the music moment. Yes, sir. You know what time it is. Thank y'all for I've been getting a lot of DMs. Keep sending them. I like listening to new songs. This was kind of an experiment whenever I first started it on the podcast, but I like where it's going, and I like everybody. It's basically just everybody sharing their playlists, and that's what I wanted. I personally like deep diving into people's culture and being completely submersed in their culture, whether it be music, food, conversation, clothing, festivals. It doesn't really matter, but this music moment is a good one. So the first song, it's a Spanish song, but it's basically it's a Spanglish song. They're both Latino men. There are the Social Club Misfits, and the song is Que Lo Que, and it is QUE space LO space QUE for anybody that doesn't speak Spanish. But it's just a good it's a good vibe song. Even if you don't know what's being said in the song, it's still fun to sing along. Que lo que, mama. It's a good, I feel like it'll like lift your spirit up, since it's almost summer, and it'll just bring that out of you. Number 2 on the music moment is from DJ Khaled's new album, Khaled. It is Let Go with Justin Bieber and 21 Savage. This is also a, like a windows down, almost summer, maybe pool type vibes or volleyball on the beach type thing. It's a song that you can vibe to, but you can also get hyped to. And that's what I like about it. So that is number 2. And then number 3, it actually came out last year, but it's still a good song. And I like how clever he is. So the artist is Masego, and the song is Veg Out. VEG space OUT. But it's also called Wasting Time, but instead of TIME, it's THYME because Masego is vegan. And it's just a play on vegetarian and veg out. And it's another one of those vibe songs. Another song that I wanted to put on here, but I'm just going to give it to y'all because I didn't want to put it. I didn't feel like it should have made the music moment because I already put a Masego song on here. But another song by him is Passport, and it talks about him searching throughout the world to try to like find himself, and he even learned Japanese so he could put it in the song. Like, there's no other artist that I've seen do that. And I've also seen Masego perform live, and he was one of the first people that I saw that in person that like truly cared about the audience, and you can see it. So I went to see him in New York for Afropunk, and first of all, the man plays like 4 to 5 instruments, and when he came on stage, it was like you didn't even know he was the main artist for that stage. And he was in the middle of one of his songs where he had a saxophone solo, and he saw a girl in the crowd pass out. He stopped the whole band and made sure that the medical team that was present on the grounds of the park came and attended to her and made sure that she was okay. And then went and met up with her later. Like, he got her information and wanted to make sure he was okay. And I've never seen an artist do that. I've gone to a Post Malone concert. I've gone to Kendrick Lamar concerts. I've gone to Wale concerts, Travis Scott. Like, they're just there to, turn up. Lil Yachty, Ludacris. They're just there to, have fun. Chris Brown. Like, they don't really care what goes on in the audience. And I'd say there was a good, like, 400 to 500 people there. At that stage, the whole park was filled with people. It was probably filled with at least 1,200 to 2,000 people at one time. But they had so many artists there that you literally couldn't stay at one stage. But regardless of the situation that it was in, I just thought it was super dope. And that's why I really like Masego. Other than that, thank you all for joining me on another episode of the Wave of the World podcast. As usual, I've been your host, Jacob Bodega. If you'd like to support the Patreon, where you get the episodes early and often, you also get access to merchandise early and at a discounted price. Patreon.com/Wave of the World. You can also go to jacobsbodega.com to buy any merchandise from ya boy. I thank you and I love you. Please continue to like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Share the podcast with one person a day. If you share it with one person a day, then we all grow together. Keep sending suggestions to my inbox on Instagram at Wave of the World 19. Sorry, Wave of the World podcast on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, queries, inquiries, you can send them to waveoftheworld19 at gmail.com. Other than that, take care of your mental health. Please, for the love of Jesus. And go out and be great at whatever it is that you do. Bye-bye.